So for my informative speech, I chose to cover cannabidiol, commonly known as CBD. It's something that I've seen around this area in the forms of teas, gummies, eyedroppers full of CBD oils. I became very curious in it because I've seen it in Sprouts and all these stores, and I've heard the medicinal uses and advantages of these oils based on CBD. So I really wanted to dive into that and find out a little bit more about it. So I found myself going through a lot of online articles. The FDA, because I knew they had just approved a epilepsy medicine. I branched off from there into a lot of medical journals. Kind of found myself in the industry. I wanted to find reputable sources, not somebody who's just trying to sell me this stuff. So I did find articles that were either reviewed by doctors or written by doctors. I referenced one with regards to cancer treatment, fighting off cancer cells. With the start of the speech, I really wanted to appeal to the audience because CBD covers a lot of things that are universal to people: inflammation, anxiety. I basically ask for a show of hands for anybody who's experienced those ailments, kind of to bring everybody together and get their interest, in the sense that, well, if you have, you probably want to know a thing or two about how to help these ailments in a way that maybe they might not have thought of before with CBD. And the 3 points regarding CBD that I cover in my informative speech, the first is kind of a little general history of the cannabis plant, why it was outlawed, where it's categorized as a Schedule 1 narcotic, a little bit of the history just to kind of understand where we were back in the 30s and then the 70s again when it was scheduled like that with other pretty gnarly drugs. The second main point is the breakthrough, this just recent FDA approval of a drug to help epileptic issues, seizures, help fight off seizures in children. And then the third, I really wanted to look at the future and other possibilities and uses of CBD in the forms of, topical for inflammation, teas to help with anxiety or sleep issues. So I really wanted to cover the entire the entire beginning to end of CBD and kind of show in chronological order where we were in those days to where we're at now and how far we've come, to kind of highlight the possibilities moving forward. The most interesting thing I kind of got from my informative speech is just, like I said, the FDA just approved their very first CBD based medication, and it's to help children, like I said, with these severe seizures. So I think that kind of highlights the possibilities of something that for so long has been demonized and just not even thought of, and kind of like, don't do drugs. Well, there's certain things that we can get out of these, drugs that aren't the psychoactive, not the, the negatives, more so. Maybe they do have some positives involved, and there are things that we haven't looked at before because we steered away from them for so long. And the hardest thing about writing the outline, I really wanted to keep it fluid. I found myself kind of struggling to kind of like not just drop in a cited sentence from a website. I want to kind of keep it fluid and not just sound too robotic in that sense. But I am happy with the outline that I do have. I feel that it's pretty cohesive, and it wraps up really nicely too. I'm pretty proud of the conclusion. So with that, I look forward to presenting my informative speech to the audience, and we'll see how it goes.